Okay, next is transport. Question number 36. Because of the new transport, greater access to dash made people more aware of what they could buy in shops. Now listen, greater access means reach. Greater access to something, and that thing actually made people more aware. For example, greater access to television. And then they say made people more aware. Television makes us aware. Or it can be greater access to radio. That makes people more aware. So whatever they are going to talk about, answer is going to be a sort of media related thing. Why? Because made people more aware. Question number 36.
As well as manufacturing, there were new technologies in transport, contributing to the growth of consumerism. The horse-drawn stagecoaches and carts of the 18th century, which carried very few people and goods and travelled slowly along poorly surfaced roads, were gradually replaced by the numerous canals that were constructed. These were particularly important for the transportation of goods. The canals gradually fell out of use, though, as railways were developed, becoming the main way of moving goods and people from one end of the country to the other. And the goods they moved weren't just coal, iron, clothes, and so on. Significantly, they included newspapers, which meant that thousands of people were not only more knowledgeable about what was going on in the country, but could also read about what was available in the shops.
Okay.
And that encouraged them to buy more.
Answer is newspapers. And then they took a long time to come to that point. So you got to wait for that. Newspapers. Question number 37. When shopping, people were not limited to buying dash goods. Dash goods means type of goods. For example, when shopping, people were not limited to buying imported goods, exported goods, local goods, or anything like that. And for goods, they can use things or whatever.
So faster forms of transport resulted in distribution becoming far more efficient. Goods could now be sold all over the country instead of just in the local market.
Goods could be sold all over the country instead of just local market. People were not limited to buying local goods. Try to understand this thing. I play it again.
So faster forms of transport resulted in distribution becoming far more efficient. Goods could now be sold all over the country instead of just in the local market.
Okay, question number 38. And you can see there is 1 point, retailing. First, department stores were opened, underline department stores. Next, displays of goods were more visible. Displays of goods were visible. The showcase, windows and all that. So display of goods were more visible inside stores because of better. Now listen, things were more visible inside the stores because of better what? For better, they usually use the word improved, right? Or any other word. So let's see improved or better what?
The third main area that saw changes that contributed to consumerism was retailing. The number and quality of shops grew rapidly, and in particular, small shops suffered as customers flocked to the growing number of department stores, a form of retailing that was new in the 19th century. The entrepreneurs who opened these found new ways to stock them with goods and to attract customers. For instance, improved lighting inside greatly increased the visibility of the goods for sale.
For example, improved lighting. And I have seen this thing in many tests. Same word, better. And for better, they use improved. Simple. Lighting is the right answer. Okay. Question number 39. Outside stores because dash were bigger. Now something improved outside the stores because dash were bigger. Now what was bigger? For bigger, they can use the word big in size. Gigantic, enormous, or any other word like that. So just focus a thing which they mention in the audio, and that is big in size.
Another development that made goods more visible from outside resulted from the use of plate glass, which made it possible for windows to be much larger than previously.
Which made for the windows to be which made the windows to be possible much larger. Right? So answer is not plate glass.
Another development that made goods more visible from outside resulted from the use of plate glass.
Now, they did not say plate glass means like bigger plate glass and all that. It's not plate glass.
Which made it possible for windows to be much larger than previously.
Made possible for the windows to be much larger. Much larger means big in size, and they are talking about windows. Question number 40, dash that was persuasive. Now listen, whenever they use that is, that was, usually, for example, if they say product that was persuasive. In the audio, they will say persuasive products. Persuasive products. But now they have written that was. Was means answer will be singular. In the past, but it will be singular answer. If they write that were, then answer could be plural. Now, in this case, if you write plural answer, your answer will be considered wrong because you are violating the rule. That was means singular.
New ways of promoting goods were introduced too. Previously, the focus had been on informing potential customers about the availability of goods. Now, there was an explosion in advertising trying to persuade people to go shopping.
Advertising trying to persuade people to go shopping. So advertising that was persuasive. Trying to persuade people. Persuasive and trying to persuade people. Persuade means to convince. Advertising. The right answer is not advertisement. Answer is advertising. Tising. Right? By the way, they accept British and American spelling both. If sometimes it's S and Z, so it's that. Okay? Just focus.
New ways of promoting goods were introduced too. Previously, the focus had been on informing potential customers about the availability of goods. Now, there was an explosion in advertising trying to persuade people to go shopping.
Advertising trying to persuade people to go shopping. Advertising that was persuasive. Okay, now what you guys have to do, the way we went through this complete test, whenever you practice after doing the first session with the test, when you do the test first time, you will do it non-stop. You will not stop the audio, you will not actually play the audio again, but once it is done, check your answers, and then wherever you have the wrong answers, listen to the audio again. And from each question, you have to learn one thing: the language of the question on question booklet and the language of the audio. And how these two languages are different in wording, but same in meaning. In meaning they are same, but in wording they are different. So once you learn more and more synonyms, like for better they use improved, for this word they use that, automatically your listening will become better and you'll be able to get more right answers. Okay? All the best.